He's going to try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised.
In a dysfunctional way to criminalize people.
This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color.
What do we do with ICE attacks? 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 Stand up, fight back! 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 And we don't get it! And we don't get it! And we don't get it! And we don't get it!
I know they are, but like it's kind of. This is my wife, really. I just really have.
trying to shoot. What are you doing? Are you all right? I was making sure. Thanks. Congratulations on your 10 Emmys. Must be nice to throw a bunch of money at it, see what sticks. Anyway, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, I did. Until I ended up at a fucking protest. See
First of all, introduce yourself, your full name, the organization, and tell us and how you, your full name and the organization, how to spell your name.
Yep, my name is Darlene Lombos, D-A-R-L-E-N-E Lombos, L-O-M-B-O-S. I'm the president of the Greater Boston Labor Council with LCI. We represent over 100,000 union members and their families in Greater Boston.
So what's going on here?
We are here today to show our solidarity for our brother, David Huerta. It is absolutely absurd what is happening all across the country. Our families, our friends, union leaders are getting arrested, are getting detained. And it is actually pretty emotional for many of us because these are people who have given their lives for the protection of our own communities and to increase wages, benefits, standards. And to me, this is about human dignity. This is about reminding people in our unions, in our labor movement, that we are going to stand with them and show them, remind them what it means to be human, to fight for humanity, because that's what I believe the labor movement is all about.
So what happened to David Huerta? For people who do not know about it, tell us what.
David Huerta is the president of a local in LA, and he was simply standing to witness some of the detentions that were happening, and he was swept up, and all he was doing was being there and bearing witness. And his right to protest, to be there, to support his community, to support his family members, and all of a sudden he gets swept up in this raid, and he was thrown to the ground and had a severe head injury, and is now still being detained. I don't even know where he is.
So for people who do not know what you're talking about, because detention is something that people don't know. So tell us, be specific about what kind of detention you're talking about, who was doing the detention, who threw him to the ground, and the injury.
So we are talking about the mass deportations and ICE raids that have been happening across the country, violently done, and in ways that actually degrade our own sense of humanity here in the U.S. And it is the administration, the Trump administration, has been putting their foot down on all of this indiscriminately, trying to deport and detain anyone who is someone who is against what his policies are.
So what does the violent arrest, which was assumed by ACI agents of David, what does it say about the state of immigration enforcement and the issues that make people passionate about what's happening?
Well, let's just be clear. These deportations and people getting detained, has nothing to do about immigration, in my opinion. This has more to do with the Trump administration trying to control and make sure that everybody understands that he has no regard for the rule of law, and he's making it clear that no one is going to be, no one is spared.
Right. And
sorry. Do you want to?
There seems to be a lot of passion about what's happening in California. Can you talk to us about what's going on in California and what David was witnessing and why it's creating such an outpouring of passion right now all over the country?
Well, I think across the country and even in LA, these raids are happening. It's getting bigger. Sometimes it's done in secret. They're not even people who are from the community coming in and instilling fear in all of us. And so, they want to instill that fear so that we are not out protesting all the other things that matter to us. The cuts that the administration is making around jobs, infrastructure, around making sure that federal workers are able to do their jobs, to make sure that people are getting their benefits, are making sure that we have anti-discrimination laws in place. This is all part of the administration's plan to make sure that we are silent and that we are fearful of this administration. And what we are saying today is that we will not back down. We will not be silent, and we will continue to fight and have the courage, because what I've heard is that courage is contagious. And so we need to be doing that all over the country.
Now, for people who are not here in Boston today, tell us about how many people are here, what was the mood and atmosphere like, and what was the main message here, and what sort of, describe the demographics of people who are here.
We had an incredible show of support for our brother David Huerta. It was across sectors, across industries. We had hotel workers here. We had the building trades here. We had the nurses here. We had all kinds of workers from all sectors in every industry, over 500 of us that came together in an emergency. The flyer that was out today, I got it 4 or 5 times because of the level of passion that people have in supporting our brother, David Huerta.
And Trump got unprecedented support from unions in this election for Republicans. What is the feel among the unions
Get some
about
509
his
staff to help
actions,
the
his
stage over
policies,
here.
and
509
his treatment
staff,
of
help
union
the
leadership?
stage, please.
I would say that the unions are a democratic institution, and that many people, we're like a microcosm of society. And so, as much as the reflection, it's not just unions, but every sector of society he has won over in some ways with his lies and his policies that don't actually speak to the real working class here in the United States. And so our job is to actually lead with our values as we know how to do, and remind people that we as unions are also a democratic institution and we fight for the working class.
I just wanted to know if you could talk about last month there were 1,500 people in Massachusetts detained by ICE. What impact have you seen on families, on people in this state just targeted by
And
ICE?
just so you can put the context, because our questions will not be in the edit, so we can...
Yeah. Oh, okay. So across Massachusetts, there's been more than 1,500 people being detained, being deported, and what the impact is we've seen in our classrooms, in the hospitals. There are people afraid to go out into the community, to get their services, to go to school. There are students that we haven't seen in the classroom since this all began because their parents are afraid of what might happen in the schools. And we need to make sure that people feel safe. We need to protect our communities and our workers and remind them that we are here and they are not alone.
Anything else we should know?
I don't know. I feel like, no, thank you.
I would rather talk about us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, how's it going?
When it comes there.
I feel like I was yelling. I'm so sorry.
In terms of one-on-one.
Thanks so much.
We're not going to get away.
Okay. Wait a minute. Leah, very nice to meet you. Yeah. Edit that however you want. Why don't you have a feel? What's that?
What's that? Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. I thought you were done. Sorry.
I'm still live.
Do you want to clip yourself up?
I'm going to leave.
You can talk to her about the chat room book. I can go.
I definitely will. So, the She should do that. She should say, if re-elected, I'm ready. Even in the polls Perfect.
All right, I love you. I'll call you.
I promise you I will think about Same here. Really inspiring to see you here. I might record it. I know we don't have to
have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We gotta let people know that they have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved and perhaps push back. Someone that's in charge, an elected official has a right to go in and check out what's going on. about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to go to a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We gotta let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposed to be in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to tighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people in power, and perhaps we can push back. all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We gotta let people know that they have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to make more people take on and perhaps push back.
To our great state of California, the contributions that they make. I have former students now that are working, contributing to society, going to college. We need to support our immigrant communities, not attack our immigrant communities.
Yes.
So we stand here united, and when immigrant workers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up. When immigrant workers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up. Thank you.
You'll have to forgive me. I have one of our teachers from UESF, Huerta. We bow. If you can make your way up here. In the meantime, as she moves up here, I'm going to have a community organizer, Susana Rojas from LTF.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Susana Rojas, and I am representing the Latino Task Force today. I am here to stand in unity with everyone from the north to the south in California, because united we will win. We all have to remember that we are the sons and daughters of those who survived Holocaust, those who survived colonization, and those who survived genocide. This fear, this terror will not win. Unity is what we need today. And we have to remember that this is a sanctuary city. Not a sanctuary city in name. Not just by saying that police will not help the feds attack us. It is by us giving dignity, giving respect, and making sure that those that are most vulnerable have the protections that are needed. So remember, as we are fighting this, we also must fight for all of our agencies, all of our communities to be protected. Put the money where a community needs it. United, we win. Thank you.
In Los Angeles, we knew that while there was an elementary school graduation going on, the raids were happening right outside. We have all of the frontline workers, right? We have the fire folks, we have the SFPD, we have teachers that are on the front lines. Can you picture this, please? Picture this. The children are in the classroom celebrating their last day of school, while their parents, everybody's running to be able to make sure that they're not left behind because ICE is near the school. Please, our teachers are on the front line, and I want to be able to ask all of you, please give a warm welcome to our sister, Huerta from UESF. Buenos días, todos. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am a proud educator with the United Educators of San Francisco, a proud daughter of 2 immigrant parents. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, to a loving community, an immigrant community in Koreatown, LA. So, UESF is here today, along with the House of Labor, to say that we stand in solidarity with David Huerta. We stand in solidarity with all workers, with immigrant workers, because we know very well that without them, this world and this economy does not run. And as an educator, it's important that we teach the real history of our people, the real history of this country. And it's important that we clarify politically and educate every single member that is out here today, every single neighbor, our loved ones, our relatives. Trump wants us to believe that immigrants are criminals, and that is a lie. Let me tell you something. Who are the real criminals? It's the National Guard. Yes, it's ICE. It's federal cops who are coming to hurt and harm our communities. Because our communities are peaceful without them.
Yes.
It's very important that we make this distinction. That we are immigrants and workers. We are not the criminals.
Yeah.
We want what everyday working people want, and that is the right to dignified working conditions. That is the right to pursue happiness, to live safely, and to make a living. And whether you're an immigrant or not, we all have that in common.
Yeah.
We have more in common with each other than what we will ever have in common when Trump and his allies. And so if you care about free speech, if you care about the First Amendment, I urge you to speak out, to be out in the street, to defend our right to protest. Because if we allow them to take that away from us, we are not going back, and we need to be out in the streets. So today, there's another press conference with A-Rock, go to that. There's another mass mobilization at 6 p.m. Stay in the streets, because only we can stop this. Repeat after me. Say it once, say it twice.
Say it once, say it twice.
We won't put up with ICE.
We won't put up with ICE.
If they won't put up with ICE.
We won't put up with ICE.
Right. Like I said, we didn't come alone. Everybody showed up today, and I want to thank everybody again for this beautiful presence of being able to stand up and for fighting back. With that, I want to be able to ask our brother Rob Sandoval, who's the president of Local 350, Teamsters Local 350, and the vice chair of the Democratic Party Chicano Latino Caucus, followed by our brother Abel Fual from Engineers Local 39. Christy Hockey.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Robert Sandoval, and it's a privilege to be here. First and foremost, I am the proud son and grandson of immigrants. I was born in Panama, and I'm Panamanian and Salvadorian blood running through my veins. I'm also a proud American. One of the fundamental pillars of America is that labor, civil, and human rights are a foundation to this country, America, right now. When they round up parents at elementary school kids' graduations, that is not America. We're hardworking, dedicated union members and non-union members are out there struggling just to make a living, get harassed, and then disappear, never to come home. That is not America. Where immigrants who pay their taxes are law-abiding citizens, follow the rules and regulations, yet get detained and treated as criminals, that is not America. These were calculated and intentional, inhumane acts of cruelty. These were not acts of justice. This is a pivotal moment. And as someone who was raised in the House of Labor, by a labor leader, by grandparents and parents of immigrants, I will stand with you and fight with you till the end. We will fight for all families, for justice, for the right to exist, for the fight to continue to keep this country that is America, the most diverse nation in the world, to move forward. I'm also here to say to ICE raids, we are here to say, fuck that, and fuck you. Fight together, win together. Fight together, win together. Fight together, win together. Thank you.
The local 39 engineers.
Hey, what do you say? From Nevada to the Bay, Local 39 is back on the line, demanding the immediate release of David Huerta. Bring our brother home! Bring our brother home! Bring our brother home! Bring our brother home! Local 39 is also back on the line, demanding that our elected officials provide the material support that our labor leaders need, our community leaders need to fight back against these brown-shirted goons goose-stepping around California, wreaking havoc on our cities and our families and our neighbors. Make no mistake, history is being written right now. And as the old Union hymn goes, which side are you on? Who are you with? Huh? I see beautiful faces all around me, a beautiful choir of people from our community, from our labor leaders. But I don't like to preach to the choir. This message is for those of you at home who are scared, who are on the fence. The paradox of fear is this: when you are afraid, life gives you the opportunity to be brave. So listen closely. You hear the word solidarity. Solidarity is not your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas. Solidarity is a verb. It's what you do. Get out in the streets. Get out the streets. Make some noise. No silence. No compliance. And defiance. Free David Huerta. 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 Free David Huerta.
Next, I would like to introduce all of you to a Sister Kristen Hardy from SEIU Vice President. Kristen Hardy, SEIU 1021.
Thank you. My name's Kristen Hardy. I am a San Francisco native. I've never seen colors. I've never seen ethnicities. This is a deep shame. I am here right now today standing in solidarity with my brother David Huerta, who was picked up. We just broke bread at the Democrats convention just last weekend. I am truly, truly saddened by what's going on right now. David Huerta, any of you guys don't know, he's a father, a fierce-ass leader, a champion for justice for all working people. He, like those detained for exercising their First Amendment right and advocating for immigrant workers, was detained by ICE, an ICE raid. He belongs home. He belongs here with the people, fighting for the working class. We have a bigger fight that we're fighting right now. This is not the time. Right now, I'm glad to see all of us out here in solidarity, taking the lead. This is only the beginning. Every individual deserves to feel secure in their own home, at work, within their community. Yet the brutal military-style ICE raids that are instilling fear in our friends, our communities, my co-workers, our neighbors. This wave of terror must stop. Not now, but right now. We must stand together, shoulder to shoulder, with all working people to demand safety and respect for all. Every person in America should feel safe and protected by the U.S. Constitution when exercising their First Amendment rights. But ICE's actions against the union leader and workers and families and moms and sisters and brothers and fathers is another fear tactic by this administration aimed at silencing workers and anyone who dares to speak out against injustice. With that being said, I want to keep it up. Free David Huerta!
Free David Huerta! Free David Huerta! Free David Huerta! Free David Huerta! Free David Huerta! Free David Huerta!
From the community, we want to be able to invite our sister Jane Martin from the Bay Resistance. There is much work to be ahead of us. And I understand some folks are like, fuck, I'm tired of marching every goddamn day. But I will say this, my A1C levels have gone down since January. And so I want to be able to ask every single one of you, we cannot become tired yet. It's only been 5 months, y'all. 5 months, okay? We have to be able to keep it up, and with that, who better than to tell us our community's joining with us from Bay Resistance, Sister Jane Martin.
On behalf of, good morning siblings, on behalf of the vast Bay Resistance network of community and labor organizations, we stand with labor in this fight against workplace raids and the separation of workers from their families. And we stand with you in the fight to free David Huerta and drop all the charges against him. Amen. David Huerta is a comrade and a friend. And he was living our values, which is when you come for one of us, you come from all of us. Yeah. We will stand with every single child that has been separated from their parents. We will stand with every single child that's been taken into custody. We will stand with every single worker that doesn't know when they're going to see their family again, or that is afraid to go to work. We stand with you. Bay Resistance is here as a home for everyone to get organized. California is organized, the Bay Area is organized. If they come here and do workplace raids or any increased ICE enforcement here, we will respond, and we are responding. Go to bayresistance.org to sign up and make sure you get action alerts. We will be marching. As Sister Olga said, we'll be marching today at 4 o'clock. We'll be at City Hall with A-Rock against the travel ban. We'll be marching tonight in the Mission, and we're holding a vigil tomorrow in Oakland at Fruitvale in solidarity with this movement against workplace raids and to free David Huerta. So join us there as well. Thank you.
It's really important. I want to be able to introduce to you one of the largest unions in California, SAU 2015, Home Care Workers Union, our sister Claudia Arevalo from SAU 2015, who will be speaking in Spanish and delivering her message. So I ask people to please be patient. I'm going to try and translate and get everything as well as possible, but don't be judging me in the back, okay? Please. Claudia, please. ¡Un aplauso!
Claudia Arevalo. Soy trabajadora de cuidado en casa desde hace 33 años y soy miembro del 2015 que representamos más de 500,000 y ese 500,000, muchos, miles, cienes somos emigrantes y esos emigrantes solo tienen permiso de trabajo. no tienen una residencia, pagan mucho de impuestos y esos impuestos ni siquiera los reciben porque muchos no pueden recibir esos impuestos. Y ahora tenemos un presidente donde nos toman como criminales. Eso no va. Nosotros no somos unos criminales. Nosotros somos clase trabajadora que venimos todos los días a tener 2 hasta 3 trabajos y esos impuestos no los recibimos. Y ahora muchos y miles se están yendo, ellos mismos se están autodeportando. Esto es triste. Estaba escuchando de una persona que hace 60 años no había pasado esto. Y ahora, ¿por qué está pasando esto? Nosotros necesitamos hacer algo por este presidente que no nos sirve, que solo nos está sacando lágrimas diario. Hagamos algo por este presidente que no lo queremos. También el 2015 también está apoyando a David Huerta, que está luchando por la clase trabajadora emigrante. Nosotros estamos con él. Y también quiero decirles que hay muchos trabajadores que no están yendo a trabajar. No están yendo a trabajar porque no quieren ser deportados, no quieren ser arrestados. Están yendo a las cortes y los están arrestando también. Muchos no tienen ni qué comer. Es triste ver a latinos que diario están llorando y con niños. La verdad no sé, no puedo hablar más. Gracias.
My name is Claudia Arevalo. I represent SAU 2015 with over 500,000 workers in the state of California. With that being said, the workers that we represent are predominantly immigrant. We contribute to a lot of taxes. We get nothing in return. With that, this administration insults us every day by criminalizing the work that we do. And all we want to be able to do is bear witness to be able to provide for our families with dignity. What is happening right now as workers is that we're being confronted. We have Latinos, workers that we represent, crying every day over what are we going to do? Who will be next? And when will they come for me? These are the questions that we are being confronted with on a daily basis. Workers are not showing up at work. Workers don't know how they're going to make ends meet in order to be able to provide with dignity. But the fear that this administration has given us is nothing more than that. They're paralyzing us if we don't fight back, if we don't speak up, if we don't stand up. We stand with Brother David Huerta. We want to be able to make sure that he is freed, but we want to fight back and tell this administration that they are not my administration. They do not represent our That's all I can share with all of you, to please stand up and fight back. Gracias, Claudia. Thank you so much. There is a lot of impotence in the community right now, and I want to be able to reiterate that. Those of you who can, please sign up. For my sisters and brothers in labor, if you have staff that can join folks on their appointments at immigration, please tell us. Let your presidents, let your business managers know. If any of you can volunteer hours to go with the family when they're going to their appointment, please let us know. If you can give someone a ride to pick up groceries so that they feel safe and they're not alone. This is where we're asking every single one of you. Every one of you can help. Every one of you can stand up. It's not just when the cameras are here. It's not just to be able to march on the street. There are little things. There's grandmothers, grandfathers that are too scared that they have targets. Help them make their groceries, go pick up their groceries. Please talk to folks. Do not isolate ourselves any further. We have to be able to make sure that all of our communities are standing with each other. Again, it makes me proud from where I'm standing right now that all of us are here today and right now. With that, I want to be able to ask my sister Lizzie Tapia from Unite-HGRE Local 2 is going to be able to be closing it out. A big round of applause.
All right. Thank you, Sister Olga. We're here today. I'm Lizzie Tapia representing Unite Here Local 2. We have about 15,000 members across the Bay Area, and the vast majority of our members are immigrant workers from different parts of Asia, from different parts of Latin America, and really from all over the world. And our members and the members of so many of our unions that are here today and our communities here have built this country. We built this country into what it is, and we are the mechanism that keeps this country going every day. It is totally unfathomable to think that we have a government that would turn against and attack its own people. And that is what's happening right now, and we will not stand for it. They think, just like the bosses do every day in our workplaces, they underestimate us. They think that we will give up, and we're not going to do that. They think that we will go away, and we're not going to do that. We are going to keep fighting and keep going, and we are going to go, what our union says, one day longer than they do. And that's how we're going to win. Because when we're all together, we may not have the kind of money that they have, but we have the power. And together, we will win. When we fight, we win! When we fight, we win! When we fight, we win! And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep on fighting until we bring David Huerta home and we stop the ICE attacks on our community and our people.
We have a lot of fights still left in us. Tomorrow, the janitors are having an action at 1725 here on 3rd Street by Chase Arena. Again, a lot of folks feel very emboldened to chase our janitors around with cameras, right? While they're doing their jobs, they're cleaning up after them. And they feel like they can follow us and record us with everything we do. We ask you to please stand with us tomorrow. I'm asking the Labor Council to post it and share it out. There will be a lot of actions. Why did we do it here on the state building, right? Why in front of state? Well, because the administration is playing very loose on what obstruction is. And once we cross the street, this is how every American, whatever state they're in, whatever city they find themselves in, should feel very threatened. When we lose the ability to free will, we have lost our ability that we can't even stand on that side of the street without feeling threatened that we will be disappeared. It's not the America we all know. There's many of us here that grew up in the generation that our parents were being taken from bus stops and schools, and we were told not to speak Spanish, not to be proud to be a Mexican or an immigrant. That's the generation that we were raised. And I'll have you know, for San Francisco, we've always fought back and we stand up. And we're asking every single one of you, please, at 1:30 today, stop what you're doing for 2 minutes. Our brother David Huerta is going to be brought into the courtroom to be able to be told again what his charges are, right? Take a moment, post it at 1:30, please post it on your social media. Free David Huerta today. Make sure that if you have nothing more, because you're in meetings after meetings, please make sure that you post it. Free David Huerta at 1:30. He's being brought into the courtroom at that hour. And we ask every single one of you to continue to stand with immigrants, with working families. I want to be able to thank the supervisors that are here, Supervisor Bilal, Supervisor Shaman Walton, who was here, Supervisor Cheryl, the supervisors that were here, Nancy Tung, President of the Dems Party. I want to thank you, all of you. I want to be able to thank...
We got two trustees here from City College, Big Chung and me.
Big Chung. Chung and City College, thank you, trustees. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So I want to be able to make sure that please pay attention to the San Francisco Labor Council. We're advising all of you. It's a city we all love, a state we all love. We're not going to burn it down. We got to be able to make sure that we are out there protesting. We are out there fighting. But this is a city we love and work in. We got to also protect it to make sure everybody who got arrested yesterday, half of them are not even from here. Go do it in your own goddamn city. San Francisco's fighting for San Francisco and all immigrants everywhere. retail worker, a construction worker, that a janitor is not going to have to think twice whether I should come to work. Should I feel safe? And I want to recognize my sister Olivia, who came up from the South Bay. Again, Keith, thank you so much, in the East Bay. From Contra Costa, thank you guys so much. Free David Huerta! 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 Thank you so much! David Huerta! I'm gonna stick around here. ¿Se puede o no se puede? ¿Se puede o no se puede? Sí se puede! 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 Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Please, Rudy, please, can you guys come over here? Questions? We're getting updates that are being texted to us right now. Did everyone hear that? So the question from the reporter is, when was the last time he was spoken to? His wife was able to speak to him yesterday. They were incommunicated up until yesterday since his arrest. We had an update this morning at 1:30. We're getting text messages from our president, April Verrett, down in Los Angeles, international president with SEIU. A lot of folks have gone down to Los Angeles to be there, but we're getting live messages from what's going on.
Do we know what the conditions are like in the custody he's being held in?
You know what? You've seen the same videos like we all have. They're not letting anybody in. We don't know if he's eating. We don't know any of that. All we know, though, is that everybody that has gone to ask the questions, let us see him, let us speak to him, they have been refused. I understand Karen Bass, Mayor Bass, was able to be with them at the hospital, and our international president is also in communication. That's it. Any other questions? Preguntas?
One-on-one.
Okay, perfecto. Thank you all. Stay posted. We have red cards. If anybody would like to be able to get some red cards to take with you, please be careful being on any federal property. Thank you so much.
Get people aligned.
We're not the problem.
I know you.
straight on the. Are you on?
I like
right. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We gotta let people know that they have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. If someone gets in charge, an elected official has a right to go in and check out what's going on. Should I got to heighten that thought. We've got to improve that thought. We've got to get more people in power, and perhaps we can push back.
volatile situation is.
Cities. He's going to try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised.
In a dysfunctional way to criminalize people.
This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go into, to check out what's going on. Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
Il rappelle très souvent.
We have been tear gassed. We have been flash bombed.
Get back! Get back! Get back!
Shame on you!
volatile situation is.
They're moving us.
Cities. He's going to try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised.
In a dysfunctional way to criminalize people.
This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go into, to check out what's going on? Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
Il rappelle très souvent.
We have been tear gassed. We have been flashballed.
Get back! Get back! Get back!
volatile situation is.
They're moving us.
Cities. He's going to try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised.
In a dysfunctional way to criminalize people.
This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go to check out what's going on? Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
Il rappelle très souvent.
We have been tear gassed. We have been flashballed.
Get back! Get back! Get back!
volatile situation is.
They're moving us.
Cities. He's going to try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised.
In a dysfunctional way to criminalize people.
This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We gotta let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go to check out what's going on? Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
Il rappelle très souvent.
We have been tear gassed. We have been flash bombed.
Get back! Get back! Get back!
Volatile situation is.
They're moving us.
Cities. He's going to try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised. This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We gotta let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go to check out what's going on. Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
Il rappelle très souvent.
We have been tear gassed. We have been flash bombed. Get back! Get back! Get back! Get
volatile situation is.
They're moving us.
But I'm gonna. I think there should be something about that.
and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised.
In a dysfunctional way to criminalize people.
This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go into, to check out what's going on. Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
Je rappelle très souvent.
We have been tear gassed. We have been flash bombed. Get back! Get back! Get back!
Volatile situation is.
They're moving us.
But I'm gonna.
Cities. He's going to try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised. This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go to check out what's going on. Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
Je rappelle très souvent.
We have been tear gassed. We have been flash bombed. Get back! Get back! Get back!
Volatile situation is.
They're moving us.
Cities. He's going to try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised. This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go into, to check out what's going on? Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
Il rappelle très souvent.
We have been tear gassed. We have been flash bombed. Get back! Get back! Get back!
volatile situation is.
They're moving us. But I'm gonna
try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised.
In a dysfunctional way to criminalize people.
This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go to check out what's going on? Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
We have been tear gassed. We have been flash bombed. Get back! Get back! Get back!
volatile situation is.
They're moving us.
Cities. He's going to try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised.
In a dysfunctional way to criminalize people.
This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go to check out what's going on. Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
Il rappelle très souvent.
We have been tear gassed. We have been flash bombed. Get back! Get back! Get back!
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Test, 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 test. Mic check in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Thank you, thank you. Welcome everybody as you join us live on ABC7.com and our 24/7 streaming channels. Chris Christie up in Air 7 as we continue to follow a fourth day of protests here in downtown Los Angeles. You're taking a live look at Los Angeles Street. That's the Federal Building, where there are about 100 or 150 protesters on the steps of the Federal Building with the National Guard standing guard at the front door at the top of the steps. There's a separate location right down the block there at Aliso and Alameda Street with several dozen more protesters right along the crosswalk there in front of the federal detention facility, and you can see they are face to face with LAPD officers hoping to keep that crowd off of Alameda Street. Basically, they are the only thing separating those protesters from the National Guard on the eastern perimeter of the federal property. So those LAPD officers in that skirmish line are essentially acting as a barricade, a buffer, if you will, between the Aliso Street crowd and those federal authorities behind this group of LAPD officers. So those are all LAPD units right there. And then as we tilt up there, you can see all of those National Guard who have been called in to defend the federal campus here in the middle of downtown Los Angeles. The more they can prevent interaction between the crowd and the federal authorities along the federal property, the more they can prevent a virtual constitutional crisis. So we will stay here and keep an eye on this crowd as they stand peacefully along Alameda Street. That's our second crowd at the federal facility. We'll go ahead and tilt down here over towards Olivera Street along Main Street. There is a separate protest. This is an SEIU protest, started at Grand Park, and they have marched throughout the morning over towards the plaza here at Main Street and Olivera. You can see the circle there, and about, I would say, close to 200 people in this crowd here waving Mexican flags and peacefully expressing their voices in the plaza there. They are not blocking the roadway. That is Main Street, by the way, right there going through the screen, and traffic appears to be getting by just fine. They are watching all of these crowds. LAPD not very visible. This might be the largest of the bunch of those three separate gatherings. This is the largest. You notice that all three are very peaceful at this moment as we close in on the bottom of the 2 o'clock hour here, getting ready for Eyewitness News at 3 o'clock coming up in just about 15 minutes. And it does look like some of this group is starting to splinter off up towards the south along Main Street. So we'll keep an eye on all of their movements here. This appears to be the largest group. They also appear to be the furthest away from the federal property. So we're going to be watching that federal property very carefully throughout the afternoon. Again, National Guard called in over the weekend to assist in protecting the federal property. Additional Marines have been activated, deployed, coming in from Palm Springs. We do not know what their role will be just yet, or if they will even have a responsibility once they get here. But right now you can see everything here is peaceful, unlike last night where there was major civil unrest. Also, you can see here in this shot along Aliso Street, California Highway Patrol, extra duty called in here to defend the entrance ramp to the 101 freeway. They want at all cost to prevent a repeat of yesterday and to prevent any halt in the traffic flow through downtown here. So traffic is getting by on the 101 freeway. Many downtown buildings and high rises have told their workers to work remote today for those who could, and for the time being, traffic through the area does appear to be relatively light. So traffic light throughout downtown. It continues to flow down the 101 freeway, and hopefully they will not have to close down the freeway. Last night there were actual protests both on the freeway and on the freeway overpasses that created quite a bit of a cleanup effort that was required overnight and into this morning in order to reopen the freeway in time for the Monday morning rush hour. So the 101 freeway has reopened, the protesters have returned, but these are not the agitators that we saw overnight that were causing just raw destruction throughout the downtown area, mainly in this 3 or 4 block square block area, which was the centerpiece for much of the civil unrest that unfolded last night. Now you can see everything is peaceful this afternoon. LAPD out here in full force, again, trying to keep everybody separated in an extraordinary effort to keep the peace. Taking a live look now as that group over near Olivera Street has now moved down Main Street up towards Aliso, where they are now crossing over the 101 freeway and basically making their way over towards the Federal Building. So it looks like we've got the several groups that we've been discussing and keeping an eye on here about to converge. In fact, even the group on the steps of the Roy Ball Federal Building, that crowd has thinned out a little bit. They are moving up towards Aliso Street, and you have basically these two large crowds now converging at Los Angeles and Aliso Street. That's the intersection of Los Angeles Street and Aliso Street, where two large groups of protesters, all peaceful in this particular shot, are now converging. And you can see LAPD maybe attempting to keep them away from the other crowd on the other side of the Federal Building. So if there's going to be any more convergence, it will not be happening. It will not be happening via Aliso Street. Those motorbike units have Aliso Street completely shut down.
They're moving us.
try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not surprised. This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go to check out what's going on? Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
Il rappelle très souvent.
They want to keep them. I guess they're gonna push them off the bridge, but I guess they don't want them crossing over. I know. When you can't put it back out my window? No problem. Sounds good. Little more right pedal. Oh, they moved them away, huh? They moved them over to the other side. So now everybody's in one. Okay. A little more right pedal. You're good. What street is that at the top? They're turning on to, I think that's going to be First Temple. Yeah, we're good. Actually, yeah, let's go around. Yeah, let's do that. Copy that. There's a large group, at least 500 or 600 people on the
He's going to
move.
try and make an example out of us. No, I'm not.
I'd say about 500 people total.
This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law.
Interesting.
Because he
They're
wants to
splitting
goad us
up.
into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back. Is someone that's in charge that can, an elected official has a right to go to check out what's going on? Who can I speak to? You know, anybody? No?
A little more right pedal.